Hello, this video is designed to give faculty the steps for giving students special access to activities in Brightspace by D2L, specifically assignments and quizzes. There are two ways to think about giving special access in D2L. There's really two ways to go about it. Method one would be the old school way, or the way that we've done it in the past, and that's I want to give a few students special access to just one quiz or assignment. And this might be I want to give them special timing, so everybody has 30 minutes and I want to give this student an hour, or it might be a different due date altogether. So this assignment is due for the rest of the class on Monday, but I want to give this student till Friday to take it. It can also be used in the case of the student already missed the assignment and I want to give him or her special access to turn it in without having to open it all together. So say the due date was on Friday. The student emailed me, had a legitimate reason. I want to give him or her access to submit the assignment or do the assignment after the fact. So it closed for everybody else on Friday. I can go in there and give that one student special access till Tuesday, for example. So that would be using method one. Method 2 is a little bit different. Method 2 is only available for quizzes. Method 1 is available for quizzes and assignments, but not discussions. Method 2 is only available for quizzes. And this is a way to, instead of having to go into each and every quiz and give special access, you're able to do it in bulk. And that is particularly used for ADA purposes, in that the student is going to get special timing on every single quiz in the course. You're able to give him or her that special access to all the quizzes in the class at one time, which is going to save you a little bit of work and of not having to go into every single one. Okay, so let's try out method one with assignments and then quizzes. So the first thing is you want to go to the assignment area and you want to find the assignment that you want to give special access for. So we're going to edit this assignment. And then for the most part, you will have probably set up everything in the assignment area already. Notice that it already has a due date here. This is for the entire class, but you want to get to that special access by going to this availability dates and conditions. Notice that it doesn't have a start date, so everybody can access it from go, from the first day that they get access to the course. So they have an end date. Now remember, the due date and the end date is different. The due date is a soft end date, or a soft deadline, in that they can still submit it. The entire class can still submit it after this deadline. It will just tell you it's late. The end date is when it disappears from the view for all the students. So this is for the general. This is for the class in general. To give special access to one or more students, you want to come down here and choose Manage Special Access. Then you have two options. You can allow users with special access to submit outside the normal availability, or you can allow only users with special access to see this folder. So these are two very different things, and you want to make sure you're clicking the right one. With this one, everybody else can still see it. They are just submitting it on this due date here, versus the student that I'm going to pick in a second is going to submit it on a different one. This one is only the people that I choose in just a minute are going to be able to see this assignment at all. So that might be in cases of makeup work or other things like that. All right, so we're going to do, I'm going to make it to where everybody can see it, and I just want a special due date for these particular students. So we're going to add users to special access. And then I'm going to, these properties are going to be for the exception, the students that I'm giving the exception for. So instead of submitting it on the 21st, I'm going to give them to the 28th for whatever reason. And then I'm going to choose whoever that is. So we'll say that Robert is the one that's going to get that special access. So I can change the due date or the end date, or I can change even the start date. But here I'm giving him special access of a different date and time range to do so. So I'll save that and save and close, and then now you're able to see when you go in and check that everybody else has to submit the assignment by the 21st, but I do have one user with special access, and when I click on that, I'm able to see that Jared has until the 28th. So that is how you would do it for the assignments area. Now let's do the regular method of giving special access using the quiz feature. Now this is done per quiz, but you can change the timing as well as the due date on this option. So we go to quizzes, you would find the quiz that you want to edit. So we're going to edit that quiz. And then under the restrictions tab, you're going to see the due date and start date and end date for the entire class. So let's say it's due for the entire class on the 21st. And remember, the due date and end date are different. The due date's the soft deadline. It doesn't prevent them from submitting. The end date is when it actually disappears from view. So this is for the entire class. Scrolling down, the timing would be for the entire class. So let's say the entire class has 30 minutes to take the exam. So this is for the entire class. Now, to give special access, it's at the bottom of the page. So under restrictions, keep in mind that this and this is for the entire class, but at the bottom is the special access. Same special access options. Allow selected users special access, so I still want everybody else to be able to access it during this time, but I'm just going to give particular people a special date and window, or a special quiz or a special quiz timing. Or only users with special access can see this quiz, meaning that only the people I select will be able to see it. In this case, I'm going to choose the first one, add users to special access. And then here I have the new due date for this quiz. So this is going to be the one for the special group. So everybody else has until the 21st. I want to give these to the 28th. And then I can even choose the timing. I can edit just the due date, or I can edit just the timing, or I can edit both. So in this case, maybe I want a different time limit. So instead of having 30 minutes, they get 60 minutes. So in this case, I'm giving them a different end date, as well as a different timing. It might be that I choose only one or the other. Then I scroll down and I want to pick the student that's going to get that special access. And then I'm going to add that special access. So now when I look at it, keep in mind everyone else is getting the 21st with 30 minutes. But if I scroll down below, I see that Robert is getting 60 minutes and on the 28th. And then I can add another user if they need special access of 120 minutes or a different deadline. Now, this only gave special access for this one particular quiz. So this is helpful if it is for a different due date, or if it is just for one special time of the student missed the quiz and they need to make it up, but it won't be true for all quizzes in the course. So now let's do the second option. The second method is where I give one student special access to all the quizzes in the course. And this is particularly helpful with ADA purposes of the students getting special timing for every quiz. So in that case, we want to do it in the class list. So we're going to go to the class list. We're going to choose the student that needs that special access. So we'll say Robert is the one that needs the special access. I'm going to edit his accommodations. And then here, notice that it's only for quizzes. This method 2 is only for quizzes, not for assignments. And notice it's only for timing. It doesn't affect his date range. So his due date, if we do this, his due date for the quizzes will be the same as for everybody else. If I need to change his due date for the quizzes, I would need to go in the other way that we talked about earlier. This one is just modifying his time limit. So I'm going to choose modify his time limit. And he's going to get an extra 30 minutes for every quiz that's in the course. Now you can give him extra times if you want to give him, he gets 2 times to take the quiz while everybody else has 1. That's what that option would be. But in most cases, you're just adding extra time. So all the quizzes have all the students getting 30 minutes to take the time, and he's going to get an extra 30 minutes, which aligns with his ADA letter. Then I save that. And then notice here, beside his name in the class list, you'll see this little icon, which lets you know that you have given him accommodations on all the quizzes. So if you hover over that, you'll be able to see that's what that means. It is important to note that method 1 will override method 2. So let's say in this case that I did this for Robert for all of the quizzes at the beginning of the semester to meet his ADA requirements. Now let's say for some reason I wanted to override that with a particular quiz because I wanted to give him extra time or give him a different date. When I go into the quizzes area and do it using method 1, which is editing the quiz, if I edit the quiz here and go to restrictions and special access, in that case, if I give him special access here, using this special access, notice that it will give me a pop-up saying that this is going to override his other attempts. So let's say I give him a 300-minute time. It's going to override the accommodation that I gave him in the class list. So it's going to override method 2. So the initial one, method 1, kind of trumps over the second method, which is using the class list. But the class list accommodation option does have benefits, and if you're trying to give one student special access to all the quizzes in the course without having to go into every single quiz.